Welcome to another episode of the Micromobility podcast. I'm Prabin Joel Jones, your host. I have another exciting episode in a series of founder episodes. Before we get into that, a quick announcement. We have Micromobility Europe coming up in Berlin on 2nd and 3rd of June. It's going to be one of our biggest events till date. If you haven't got your tickets yet, please go to micromobility.io and get your tickets. For speakers, we probably will close the speaker forms much earlier than expected because of increase in demand. So if you would like to speak at the event, please send in your submissions as soon as possible. With that, let's get started. So today I have a very interesting company that I kind of stumbled upon many years ago. So the story goes this way. So a couple of years ago, I was looking at different companies across the world, looking at financials. During my search, I found a company called Swing. And when I looked at their financials, they were kind of profitable from day one because people in the industry, they know that this business model can be profitable, but no one has it proved. Mathematically, yes, but in reality, nobody. Right, and that's kind of how I got to know about Swing. I had a chat with their founder San, and he was generous enough to share his numbers with me, and I wrote about them, and that's kind of how my connect with Swing and their founder San started. So I'm super happy to welcome San to today's episode. Welcome to the show, San.
Hi. Well, long time no see, Prabin.
Long
Thanks for
time.
invitation. Yeah, thanks for inviting us. And just like you said, in a micromobility event, is one of the greatest events I ever attended. And thanks to Prabin, I was introduced to the community, and it's a really warm community. And there was dinner for the founders like me and many. It's a very good chance for networking, and we can talk about it later. Because I was there, I
Yeah.
was very inspired by other founders, and I met them, and I learned from them, and I took it from there, and actually that's really reflected in my business model as well. So I mean, yeah, thanks
Absolutely.
for inviting us.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to be positive about this business, because we are a bunch of folks who are extremely bullish about micromobility, and if you really want to be around those circles, you definitely have to come to Micromobility Europe. With that, San, for people now, a lot of people know you, but for people who don't know you, can you give a quick intro about you and what Swing does?
Okay. Hi, nice to meet you, everybody. My name is San Kim. We're solely operating in South Korea. We started as a e-scooter sharing company in 2019 January. And we did it for only roughly 2 to 3 years, and we expanded to other modes of transportation like e-bicycle, just normal mechanic bicycle, pedal bicycle, and also e-moped on sharing business. And after some like very negative regulative environment changes, we now had all the other verticals like subscription business, and also motorcycle leasing business, and also the shuttle solution services as well. And now we're even expanding to robotics.
That's great.
So yeah, we can
Yeah.
talk about it later. Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, can you talk us through your founding story? Because Swing was founded when the micromobility boom started around 2018-ish, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk about the founding story? Because you started as a very small company then, right?
Yes. So like maybe I could add, my role and my job
Sure.
to micromobility industry universe is to add more diversity. So we're very unique in the sense that first of all, like we're very small, and we're still relatively small, but we are very super profitable. In 2018, you're right. So when the boom started, a little bit of time lag between when the bird and lion were born. Anyway, the same thing happened too. So in Korea, there were like more than 20 companies,
Yeah.
because we thought it was easy. So Bird did it in a very, I would say, MVP model. They bought just a Xiaomi and put without GPS. They did the sharing services. And by that time, once the Chinese factories, greatest Chinese factories, started to manufacture a scooter with the GPS built in, I think the door really opened to everybody, and we was one
Yeah.
of those everybody. And in 2018, we had already four to five different competitors were doing, and I was at that time working for SoftBank Ventures as an investment professional. And we reviewed, of course, at that time, I met many folks as an investor, but we didn't really have this confidence. We means like not me, but the company didn't have a
SoftBank.
really.
Yeah.
The SoftBank didn't have a real confidence in this sector in Korea, because my job was making an investment, mobility startup investment in Korea at that time. So we couldn't really invest, but at that time, our SoftBank Ventures management team was like, why don't we find, if we believe this sector is something that can generate a unicorn in Korea, then why don't we find a team and start? And we try to find a team, and actually along the way, just randomly, I was picked up by my friends. Hey, I was persuading my friends, and this friend uh, persuade me again. Hey, if you found the company, and I will help you. So,
Mhm.
and I talked to my management in SoftBank, and that's how I started. Yes, even when we started, it wasn't a very good start because there was a lot of competition, but the resources, I mean the capital wasn't very enough. So we had to really. It wasn't a really bootstrapped.
Mhm.
Compared to relatively bootstrapped our company with less than $1 million, we started, and we increased our fleets from 0 to 1,000 or 2,000, and then we
Okay.
slowly. As of now, we have more than 100,000 vehicles on the road.
Wow. Did SoftBank write a small check then? Because I mean, they're a late stage firm, right? Or was there any support
No,
from them? Or yeah.
it was they were supposed to,
Okay.
but it's the first time to say it publicly. But now I can say it in public,
Mhm.
because at that time, one of the companies that I uh, met, but I didn't invest. The SoftBank didn't invest. Actually, sued me and sue Swing
Mhm. Okay.
for copy pasting their business model.
Mhm.
So of course it doesn't make any sense, but because at that time there were more than like hundreds of different
Yeah.
the companies with the same business model, so it didn't make sense in terms of like legal perspective. But anyway, because of that, SoftBank Ventures, they have their reputation, and they had to
Yeah.
stay
No.
away
Okay.
from us. Yeah, so it didn't happen. So that's why our I wasn't we were not the most funded company for the first 2 to 3 years. So they were
Okay.
our competitors who raised 10 million with 10,000 vehicles on the road. And in the beginning, we were really trying. We had to survive. And to survive, we had to make money. So I think, and just like you introduced in the first place, I think that really made us unique and special,
Mhm.
because we became the only profitable company from year one, because we had to.
Yeah. Uh, so, but you did raise quite a bit of funds, right? I mean, it's just roughly about 30 million that you raised. But did you miss the train during that 2018, 19, 20 timeframe when everybody were like raising a lot of money, right?
That time we raised almost nothing.
Yeah.
So like we raised 1 or 1.5 million by end of 2021.
Mhm.
So those
Wow.
30 million, 2022 December, it was 2020. Wow, no, 2020 December,
Mhm.
we raised roughly 4 or 5 million,
Okay.
and 2020 21 December, we raised 24 million.
Okay. Yeah. So,
So
yeah. Okay.
it wasn't really but anyway, but I think we were very fortunate that we raised a pretty good amount of money before the valuation
Yeah.
goes down and everything did happen. So yeah,
Yeah.
but it was only after we proved to be profitable,
Mhm.
at least in Korea, then the investors they put a lot of they share their confidence in our company.
Um, so this is for viewers to know, you were profitable from day one. So just to give an idea, right? So I'll try to put up the chart for YouTube viewers. So in 2020, the revenue was around 3.4 million, and then consistently you've been growing. I think 2021 you almost like 5x your revenue, and then 2022 it was like more than double, so you were at 35 million, and then 2023 41 million, 24 44 million, and in 25 you're growing as well. So you've been like consistently growing. And what's crazy is that every year you were a bit positive, right? I mean, it's not substantial, but then if I look at every year, you've been a bit positive, right? So one of the reasons why I admire you and the company, and I talk about both Swing and you to anybody that I meet, I think introduced you to a lot of people because I want everybody to like talk to you and understand how you built a business. So the question is, I mean, this is something that we spoke at one of the events, but how did you manage to be profitable from day one? Because it's a hardware heavy business, nobody could figure out this model. But how did you manage to be profitable from day one?
Yeah, maybe I share this story to many people, and
Yeah.
there are country specific factors, and also there and swing specific factors as well. So I would say country specific factors is basically the culture here in Korea. People really respect the shared things, including our vehicles. So we could really have the lifetime of 5 years. Now our business has been there for 7 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
we really used it more than 5 years, and actually more than 5 years. Our depreciation cost is really low. Imagine that you can
Yeah.
fully fully utilize the full 5 time year. And there was, I would say that part, like all the players in Korea, we were lucky, but actually not all Korean players, but only two Korean players,
Mhm.
including ourselves, and actually their Jiku company. You kindly also covered the other Korean company
Yeah.
in your write ups. Yes, only its country factors exist, but at the same time, there's specifically swing factor as well. So we had a very unique operational approach, that
Mhm.
we have some partnership in terms of operations. So just for those who don't know about Korea, Korea is really small. We're even smaller than California, and but at the same time, we have very high urbanization rate. Meaning, it's not like one big city and the others are farms. It's uh, 88% of people are living in cities. Cities where the roads are very clean, and it's fully covered by concrete.
Yeah.
And except for very high density cities, we have very good roads and not much cars. So it's a perfect place for micromobility. So we could have penetrated all these other regions. And unlike other players, Swing, we made a partnership. So those partners who purchased our scooters, or sometimes they do a consignment operations from us,
Mhm.
so that we don't need to really set up all the operation in a small cities where we have to operate only 500 scooters.
Yeah.
So I think you need some scale to be profitable, to share the SG&A, to even share the operational costs. One warehouse, you can do 500, but you can also do 2,000 or 5,000 with only one warehouse. So we calculated that part of equation very carefully, and try to reach the scale wherever we have to do it all by ourselves. If not, we always make partnership, and as a result, our operations really become lean and very efficient in terms of cost. And secondly, I just mentioned that those partners, some of them, they purchased scooters from us
Yeah.
for their operation. And when they purchased, we did it because we wanted them to have some, I would say, responsibility. Like as of now, like if one partner has 100 scooters, 200 scooters in operation, roughly 30, 40 they purchased. 60, 70 they borrowed from us.
Right.
So to align the incentives, we always ask them to purchase some of them if they want to become our operations partner. It also has some financial impact as well as the operational efficiency because they pay us, right? We make money, and money is again back into our pocket, so
Yeah.
we could invest in more scooters, and again we could sell it. So it also had some. It really helped us make profit in 2020. And once we become profitable 2020, maybe you could, if you read it carefully, our financial statement, we started to borrow money from financial institutions. It's not like VC fund. It's not CB.
Mhm.
It's just like pure uh, borrowings from the financial institutions, like capital leasing companies.
Yeah.
Just like you lease your truck, we lease our scooters, meaning they purchase the scooters instead on behalf of us, and we pay on like 24, 36 installment. So that also gave us some financial freedom where we don't need to rely on fully an equity raise. So yeah, those operational leverage and
Okay.
financial leverage really helped us to stay profitable and scalable.
Okay. Um, just a question on the depreciation. So you were from accounting point of view, you were depreciating these vehicles over 5 years, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Got it. And what I also understood from you earlier is that uh, the franchisees, the business owners who are actually signing contracts with you, they are profitable as well. They are actually making money as well, because this is exactly the challenge others had. I mean, I think Bird at some point they tried to launch a franchisee business many years ago, right? They had I think they called themselves as Bird Partners or something like that. Did not
True.
really work out because folks that ran that business, they couldn't make money, right?
Mhm.
Um, but in your case, it was different. Why is that? Is it again
Uh,
cultural, or
Maybe because I don't know the culture stuff on franchise or the partnership model, but I think yes, actually, Bird. It's funny. The Bird Global Expansion team actually approached to us in 2019 or 20, asking whether we are interested in becoming their partners
okay?
because they knew that we lack of fleets,
Yeah.
and I still remember their proposal, and it was to be honest, it was very expensive. The vehicle was really expensive. That's number one. Number two is I'm not like really judging their business model. I'm
Mhm.
just saying the difference what we did.
Yep.
Uh, so we don't make huge money on selling vehicles. It's really tempting. Yeah,
Mhm.
you want to put like whatever the margin because they want to become your partners. In that case, you can actually make the best out of it. But we didn't do it. We designed in a way that they can make money. There was difference number one, and difference number two is incentive alignment. So we didn't start off as just hey, this is the scooter, you take it and you start to operate. No, we didn't do that. We
Mhm.
When we do, hey, how much money do you have? Like you need to at least invest $60,000 minimum so that you can start buy at least 100 scooters, roughly at that time.
Yep.
So if they put their own money, they had to work hard. And I think we design in a way that can make money by lowering the cost of hardware,
Mhm.
and secondly, align their incentives. It was uh, it was the key difference. And thirdly, I think it could be a cultural things. Maybe for those who have visited Japan or Korea, you would find it really weird because wherever you go, you see the same brands
Mhm.
for chicken, for supermarket, for restaurants, or for any shops. because it's a country of franchise.
Huh.
So many big conglomerates, big companies, they make brands and they don't operate all by themselves. What they do is they share their recipes to the
Yeah.
business models and recipes to the small SMEs, and those SMEs they account for a huge amount of, like, in terms of number, like
Yeah.
number of business, huge amount of numbers, ownerships in this country. So yeah, it's partially also social structure there, where there are a lot of demand for this type of financial, the franchisee to become a franchisee. So versus in the U.S., it's even in Europe, all the shops are independent.
Yeah.
You don't find the same names, right? So we already had that huge demand, and even before we start this franchisee or operational partnership model, there were many people who were asking, "Hey, well, it looks like your business is going well. Can I also do it?"
Huh. Yeah.
So, yeah, I was both at the same time. We were lucky that we were doing this partnership business model where there are a lot of demand for this kind of partnership, and number two, we design in a way that they have to work hard to make money, but
Mhm.
they can make money.
Got it. Um, if you look at the time when micromobility was booming, right? So 2018, 19, 20, 21 timeframe. Uh, if you look at other companies, the global companies that raise a lot of money, there were some companies where the yearly G&A or the general
Mm.
HQ cost was much higher than the revenue that they were generating, right? Which is like it's crazy if you think about it, right? I don't want to name companies, but people know. But if you look at Swing's financials, you did grow really fast at that time, right? But you still managed to keep your HQ costs as low as possible, right? What was your approach there? How did you manage to keep your HQ costs so low when you were, in fact, growing 5x, 3x at that time?
Yeah, I mean, at a Micromobility conference, we also met Ninebot, and I would say thanks to Ninebot.
Mhm.
So we cannot blame those big guys having all this SG&A, for R&D,
Yeah.
for all those experiments they've done. So I think the reason why we could have a really lean SG&A is because number one, we started and we scaled up roughly 2 years later than them,
Okay.
when all the supply chain, I would say, simply put, Ninebot has come up with the Ninebot Max Plus, which is durable, very good, and very, I would say, relatively cheap
Yeah.
in terms of TCO, total cost of ownership, because it's great vehicles. And only by then, at that time, then we don't need a R&D guy who should
Yeah.
really, enhance the durability of the existing vehicles and etc. And at the same time, so for example, AI data team.
Huh.
So I heard like one company has like 30 or 40 people doing 30, 40 people.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine what they're doing, but at that time in the beginning,
Mhm.
it seemed like we could really improve, the turnover per
Yeah.
vehicles, and it's yes and no. Yeah, it really did improve their operation as well,
Mhm.
but not to really justify 30, 40 people, a very expensive 30, 40 people of data team as well. So,
Yeah.
and we already saw that, so we didn't want to repeat that. And at the same, to be really frank, I mean, we didn't have money to do that. Yeah, we to survive, so we couldn't do it. Um, we didn't even use any expensive programs or AI. We had to use just Tableau,
Yeah.
even a free version. And we see all the stacks. Okay, okay, the high demand, high demand. Let's go. So
And how big was your tech team? It was a very small tech team, right? That you had.
oh, yeah, I mean that 2021 we have like 10.
Wow.
And imagine
Okay.
when we tried to expand to Japan.
Yeah.
Actually, I forgot to mention that we tried to global expansion, but we miserably failed, which we could we didn't have to really try it only to fail, because there were many examples that global expansion is not a good idea. But anyway, we tried it. But even when we did that global expansion, we had the tech team of less than 16 or 17. So
Wow. Okay.
4 or 5 people working on Japan expansion, and 12 people working for Korean operations.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, for the revenues that you're making, it's crazy. What I know is that the business was growing. At some point, you had like 80, 90,000 micromobility vehicles, scooters, and bikes, if I'm not wrong. And then you had to pivot because of some reasons. Can you walk us through that?
Yes, we stopped purchasing e-scooter roughly 3 years ago.
Okay.
And the peak number was we had roughly 60. Uh, Now it's actually 80.
Mhm.
80,000, because we acquired our competitors,
Okay.
one of competitors called Deere Corporation. So we have 80,000 e-scooter peak, and
Mhm.
now we still have roughly like 70 something thousand e-scooter. And the story goes like this: in 2020, Korean government worked really hard to not to become really a micromobility friendly country. So we adopted, just like all the other countries. Initially it was motorcycle. It was categorized as a motorcycle, which requires helmet. Uh, Helmet is okay, fine, but which also requires a driver's license.
Wow.
And 2020, we get rid of it, which was very good move. So that's why we were like swing is going, and then we
Mhm.
had 30 million, 30 million investment was made by end of 2021, and all of a sudden, the press went really negatively viral, and and that could happen, but the politicians was like, maybe we should get back to the original. So
Wow.
believe it or not, it's again categorized as motorcycle, and people are required to have the license and helmet.
Mhm.
And 2022 was fine, because everybody was like, hey, what the hell is going on? No, we're going backward. We have to change it. So there were some regulative discussions, but there weren't really, I would say, crack down on the scooter vehicle itself. Meaning there were no policemen in 2022
Mhm.
who were catching the users, and who didn't wear helmets and check the driver's license. It wasn't like that in
Okay.
2020 to 22 until 22. But back then, I know that's the time when I first maybe talked to you in 2023. But back
Yeah.
then, we felt something as
Mhm.
Korean. I felt some crisis. Oh, maybe if this kind of trend goes on, and I know Korean government really well. We're the one
Yeah.
of very few countries where Uber is illegal, and many Airbnb is illegal. Google Maps is not working. It's almost like people always get confused. Hey, are you from North Korea or South Korea? You cannot do Google. You cannot use any all these services. Anyway, that's true. So I could read the lines between the lines, and we prepared for the pivoting, and fortunately or unfortunately, my worry became reality.
Mhm.
And starting from 2023, the government really tightened up the regulations. That no one really believed that those kind of stupid regulation will be, I would say, uh, enacted. I mean,
Yeah.
but they really started to execute 2023. So the ridership, uh, like it almost halved in
Wow.
2023. Again, have 2024.
Hmm.
Like, and
Do
in
Do you have the
2025,
numbers? Do you have the numbers about?
yes,
Okay.
yes. Um, it's actually the number when peak time. So the revenue per scooter. Now I would say the number of rides per
Yeah.
scooter. I
Mm.
would put that. When we first started, the first 1 or 2 years, like it was not big, but four
Mhm.
times per day.
Per day. Okay.
Yeah, and and it went down as we grow up.
Mhm.
So it went down to roughly 3 in 2020, 21, and 22. Still 2.4 or something.
Mhm.
It was okay,
Yeah.
2.4. It was very. It's not. It wasn't just okay. It was very super profitable
Mhm.
because had a very lean operation. And starting from 2003, it it magically it went down by half
Wow.
to again and one lower than 2024, and now it's almost lower than, yeah, 0.7,
Oof.
0.6.
That's brutal.
Brutal.
Yeah.
You're right. And revenue per ride is way smaller than European countries because our, cost of living isn't very, price level isn't very high. So it's with all this like 80,000 scooters, like I said, but 80,000, more than 80,000 scooters on the road right now, it account for only 25% of our roughly 65 million USD. So basically,
Well.
you know how much.
Yeah, but how did the public react? I mean, if there's so much regulation, so because at some point e-scooters were very popular, shared micromobility was very popular, right? But I think South Korea in itself, the entire country in itself, was like much bigger than France at some point in terms of number of vehicles, or something like that, right? And how did the public react to this?
Indeed. So, uh, in a very politicians in Korea uh, are very very effective. They work really hard, and they know how to move the public press.
Yeah,
Uh, they usually, I'm not. Maybe it also exposes my political viewpoints, but it for me it feels like there's no really the public sentiment. The public sentiments are usually made by opinion leaders,
mhm,
and in our country, it's definitely the politicians, and I would say older generation. Maybe you read from somewhere else that Korea is the most fastly aging
yeah,
country in the world, and these old generations. So they're not just old; they're the one who actually experienced the Korean War.
yeah,
And they were the people who was born when the GDP per capita was lower than $1,000. Now we have $30,000. So
yeah,
for their mind, the car is the best. Car ownership is built in their heart.
mhm,
Car is their proud, and the city itself. If you come to Seoul,
mhm,
like when I met the Frederick, the voice team,
yeah,
Frederick's team was in Seoul
mhm,
to study our vehicles in Korea, and they were like their first question is like, why there are so many cars on the road and people are walking right next to the cars running at 60 or 80 kilometer per hour in the city center.
mhm,
So Korea is like that. We have 8 lanes, 10 lanes of roads, car
yeah,
roads, running more than 60 kilometer per hour. Basically, high speed limit is 60 kilometer per hour, meaning people are running at 80 or 100 when with the crazy density of population in Seoul, and it's really bad for riding micromobility. But people liked it, people loved it.
yeah,
But the thing is, the more and more, um, uh, the the public is reacting in a way that, hey, we don't. Our city is not built for micromobility. It's built for cars, and it's actually creating a lot of accidents. It's not the
yeah,
cars, it's more scooters. Yes, they're right. Scooters are making problems, but it's actually the other way around. It's
yeah,
actually we need to regulate, in a right way, and we need to, think of from a city landscape perspective. We tried really hard to um, alleviate our discussion from not only talking about, hey, we want to do scooters. No, it's not like we want to do scooters. Uh, we feel very dangerous, not because we are riding scooters, but because of the cars. But anyway, people, the more and more people, they hearing already the public, the public and the opinion leaders, they consider themselves as car drivers,
mhm,
not as a micromobility drivers or pedestrian. So they try really hard to get rid of e-scooters, but actually even bicycles. They hate everything.
Wow.
That's not cars.
Okay. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, it's not something similar that happened in Paris, but then you know the very popular Paris vote that actually banned shared e-scooters, right?
Yeah,
It's again, I mean, if you look at the voting process, it's very small portion of city residents or population that voted, and if you look at the people that voted, most of them are like older people. So it wasn't a proper representation for the city. And finally, we don't have shared e-scooters in the city, right? Uh, Moving on from that, so you had to pivot because of all this. So what are a couple of business lines that you actually tried? Because it's when I look back and where you are today, you have a couple of business streams today, right?
true. Yeah, especially the first thing tried, like I said, it was global expansion. Something I regret deeply that we saw
Was
all
it
this.
Japan?
My Yeah, it was
Japan,
Japan.
yeah.
Yeah, and if you look at Japan, it's except for Loop, even Loop are losing tons of money. Even now, they're losing money, more than tens of millions dollars. But still, they're doing it. Others all exited. Anyway, so that's one failure. And second failure, we tried the e-moped subscription for delivery riders, and it also miserably failed. And we tried actually delivery itself too, and we miserably we failed, and we tried taxi and it's not going well. Like we try to connect we try to become a platform for car rentals as well, but it didn't work for micromobility app. So uh, and many things as well. And we
Okay.
keep on trying. Currently, but we, because of those failures, I think we have our current business line. So, there are already big players for taxi. So instead of taxi, we are now doing the shuttle bus solution, which is also a very interesting part of mobility. And our core operational uh, capability also could be shared. IoT
Yeah.
and platform and matching demand and supply and etc. All this data team, it's very good match. And also thanks to your conference, Micromobility conference, I had a chance to meet the founder of Swapfits,
Mhm.
and he was also very generous. Maybe that because he already exited his business, so I didn't meet the CEO, but I met the founder who
Okay.
exited now, who's doing the EV now.
Yeah. Richard probably.
Yeah,
Richard,
yeah.
or yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, true, true. Richard was very generous. Like, oh, yeah, it's very good business, and what are the keys? And I was very, me. I'm very
Yeah.
transparent. Hey, I want to do that business in Korea. Like, tell me more. Can I do Swapfits Korea, or like, can you share? Then I'll do the same thing. Or do you have plans to come to Asia? But he was like, no, 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 we don't have time. So I'll share everything. To just you go ahead. So we started the basically Swapfit business model, and it's going really well. And currently, monthly revenue is uh, more than 1 point, hard to calculate, 1.3
Okay.
million revenue per month. It's growing. Last year it was less than 100 200K.
Oh,
So
okay. That's like
so
five,
it's
six times growth.
yeah, and next
Mm.
year it will be more than double, and so it's going really, really well. So, but this part, the subscription, we are not only doing the e-bikes, also we do the same thing for e-scooter.
Hmm.
But the politician, they don't talk about it. Because it's really difficult to find the attacking point, because
Yeah.
we're not putting on the street, and we really, really check the driver's license, and only we provide subscription to the people who only has a license,
Mhm.
and also they, because it's under their name, it's not we maintain the vehicles. So from owner's point of view, user's point of view, it's half owned, half shared vehicles. So they had to sacrifice a little bit of, I would say, convenience,
Yeah.
but it's more, I would say, widely accepted by Korean society.
And so, what vehicles do you have? Do you have e-bikes, e-scooters? What's part of the
Yes.
subscription business?
So e-bikes, motorcycle-looking e-bikes, that what we
Mm.
call. It's very manly e-bike, fat tire. It's like,
Okay.
fat tire. Like we have many fat tire e-bikes. We have many cargo e-bikes.
Hmm.
like carrying two babies or carrying a lot of cargo. And also we have like road bike, we have pedal bike, like Mount MTBs.
Yeah.
And also we have e-scooter, two types of e-scooter. One is a seating type e-scooter. One is a standing type, or Max Plus. Actually, a funny story. We have roughly 3,000 Max Plus. It used to be a shared vehicle.
Yeah.
Now we changed it into a different brand, and we do it for using it for subscription.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
so a lot of vehicles, e-moped as well.
okay. Okay.
Now
So,
we're doing also
yeah.
motorcycle leasing subscription too. Like gasoline motorcycle
Cool.
subscription is also being added now.
Okay. So, you took your existing sharing fleet and somehow you changed that into a subscription business, right? Uh,
Yes.
so, in terms of what business streams that you have today. So, one is the normal shared micromobility business. You have a subscription which is bringing about one or two 1.3 million. What else do you have today?
Yes, 1.2 million per month. So
Oh,
like,
okay. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's for subscription. But on a year basis, this year it will be only like 8 million, or something like that, because it's growing month on month,
Okay.
month over month. It's growing really fast, and the motorcycle subscription and rental business
Yeah.
is also very big. It's currently account for almost like 40% of our business. And this is for delivery riders who want
Yeah.
to, they want to replace their motorcycle almost every year, uh,
Yeah.
because they run like 60K kilometers with small scooters, but they don't have enough capital to really pay them off upfront. And at the same time, sometimes they don't have plan
Yeah.
to really use it for a year. So in that case, they use our, like, sometimes leasing when they want to buy, sometimes subscription if they don't want to buy. So that service line, I think this year it'll be more than 30 million this year,
Wow.
in terms of revenue.
Okay.
We are actually number one in this business sector. It's not a new business. We didn't
Mm.
create it. This business, it's been there already, but we just adopted it because we have, IoT. So we
Yeah.
purchased the motorcycle and we put our IoT, and it's easy for us, right? For shared scooter business model guys, we're operating roughly right now 4,000 motorcycle,
Mhm.
and those motorcycles, GPS is real time tracked, so we don't need to check the credit scoring. So like
Yeah.
versus our competitors, they have to, because they have no this. It's really simple. Not even I don't. It's embarrassing to call it technology, but usually shared players, and we are good at it. So
Yeah.
yes, this business we're growing really fast. And the other last one is, like I just mentioned, we acquired a company called Yellow Bus. It's a shuttle bus solution where, it's also very cultural. It's not like, you heard about the U.S. American company. I
So
forgot the name.
it's
The
not
shuttle.
Flixbus or
Yeah, it's something like Flixbus, but
okay.
they were very focused on shuttle bus.
Okay.
But in Korea, there are more than 120,000 yellow buses.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
We have, by the way, we have only 60 million people,
Yeah.
and we're aging population. Like, how can it happen?
Yeah.
Because we have multiple schools. So my kid, she doesn't go only one school. So
Mhm.
after school, she has to go to two or three different schools, and each school, private schools, like for ballet, for
Yeah.
piano, for taekwondo. So for each school, they have to operate their own shuttle bus, and they really desperately need the solution, the
Mhm.
software, and we're providing that. And we're all again leveraging our hardware or IoT experience, where currently, you can keep track of taxi, you can keep track of your food, but you cannot keep track of your children on the bus. That's the reality. So we put, again, simple IoT,
Mhm.
but we added a little bit more of technology, which is face recognition. So GPS, face recognition, and then we put it on the bus. And when your kid is on the bus, and you immediately know your kid is there,
Okay.
and you can keep track of your kid. So that kind of solution we have made, and that's also grew fast from last year, and it's now like 8 million, yeah, $7.5 million this year.
Okay. And but you have a fleet as well, fleet of these buses as well, right? Or just a software?
Just the software,
Okay.
but our main job is yeah, we can own them, but this time it's not asset heavy. This
Hmm.
time we make contract with the bus drivers, so we have like thousand of
Yeah.
1,000 bus drivers, contractors.
Okay. Super fascinating. I cannot imagine any other shared micromobility company that iterated on so many products. So I don't know if you followed the Bird story. So Bird was one of the companies in 2017, sorry, 18 timeframe that iterated on a lot of products. At some point, they had something called Bird Pay. They were iterating on a bunch of things. I
They
think
tried also subscription too. They try
yeah.
to sell
Yeah,
their
exactly.
e-bike too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they had this $25 per month subscription for e-scooters or something. They had the franchisee model. They tried to run their own, they built their own bikes, retail bikes that they can sell to end customers. Apart from that, I cannot think of any other company that tried so much, but you tried way more things in a short period with very, very less money with a small tech team, right? Uh, you know, Apart from the speed at which you iterate from a tech point of view with a small team, how did you manage to build these things pretty quick?
It's easy, I mean, for us, 'cause, you think there are a lot of different business models, but, I already, shortly mentioned that, we have many things in terms of
Yeah.
tech modules, in common. For example, all these business model, they need an IoT system. But building an IoT system, of course, you need a software, you need the hardware, and you need to also do all the certifications. And uh, all these things, making, maintenance, building, maintaining it, and also scaling it. It's very difficult for other players to mimic. But in our
Yeah.
case, because thanks to those sharing business, one of great companies, Omni. Omni is they attend the
Yeah.
micromobility conference as well. So like Omni had a Omni and QuickLink, those two companies. They have a very sizable IoT business, and we've been working with them for the past 7 years.
Mhm.
So my job is to work with them and ask them to design this kind of thing. If they cannot do, I engage other hardware players. But these
Okay.
guys, for example, face recognition. So, but anyway, it's not very new. So our
Okay.
tech team, the same tech team, IoT team, who sourced the IoT from Omni and who built the IoT server and who scale it up. It's the same team for all this different business model and payment module. So I would say, have you heard of maybe if you're familiar, MSA, architecture, microservices architecture,
Yeah.
meaning
Yeah.
like you have this different architecture, but you have common modules. So
Yep.
our tech team spent a lot of time in modularizing our tech
Mhm.
architecture, and we didn't really waste a lot of the time building the same things up. And because we had so little tech team, I had to really deeply get involved in building those structures.
Okay.
And if while discussing those our tech part, I could learn from our engineers, head of engineers, that what kind of business can be easily done by us
Mhm.
without putting a lot of efforts. So I think it was a great teamwork, I would
Okay.
say. Understanding deeply the tech side, they spent a lot of time understanding the business side, and business side try to understand deeply our tech. I would say, uh, you know, weaknesses and strengths as well at the same time.
Do you code, by the way? Do you
Sorry.
code? Do you write code?
No, no, I don't
No.
code at
You're
all.
not a tech founder.
So you know what?
Yeah.
I start when I start. I didn't know the difference between front end and back end. What is it? Front end, back? And when I had only 4 engineers to
Yeah.
build our system to operate 2,000 vehicles, And when we were attacked by hackers coming in and delete all the deep database, I had to learn. I had to
Okay.
learn. So what the hell is happening? Why our DB
Mhm.
has no data at all? What does it mean? And and I had to ask around my people because we have only 4 people. And actually, I asked him to review it, and we found out that we didn't even set up our MongoDB ID and password, so it was public on the
Yeah.
and uh, and there were a lot of stupid stuffs that we did, but I would say it was very fortunate that I could really deeply look at it, and it's a I would say very positive feedback and positive cycle. Because I
Yeah.
don't know, I have to get involved, and also they have to get involved in business.
Mhm.
So we work really hard together in lean business. So in a lean business, but if you there's vicious cycle on the other hand. If you have like too many people working in silo,
Yeah.
and you do your own job, because there are many people doing your own job, you have to hire someone who manage them, and those managers have to understand this thing and that. Then you require more time, and whenever you want to try do something new, and someone make up new idea, and actually, oh, it's against our tech structure and etc. And understanding each other, and then in that case, you have a lot of people, and a lot of people are actually most of the time it's actually more burden than your. They're not motors.
Yeah.
They're luggages on your back.
Got it. So if I look at your revenues, you did 44 million in 2024, 25. I think you're gonna grow 40-50%. Right? Sorry, 25 this year.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, roughly
oh,
64 we think.
okay, yeah. So that's easily 40-50%, and you're growing really fast. But then, are you gonna look at, I don't know, acquiring companies maybe in Europe, US for you to grow, or are you gonna focus fully on South Korea with the current business lines that you're building?
Actually, we are acquiring not the global players, we are acquiring the local players
Okay,
to help our vertical expansions. So
okay,
yeah, there were some stories. Maybe you heard about Neuron and Beam.
yeah,
I'm also close to the founder of both companies,
mhm,
and Neuron CEO. He really loves visiting Korea.
okay,
So we just personally, he
okay,
likes Korea, so we meet pretty often, and we talk about the partnership.
mhm,
But it's really difficult from investors' point of view because they were
yeah,
heavily funded
yeah,
to discuss any part of like global partnership. It's really difficult.
okay,
Not
uh,
because we don't want to, but
yeah.
because mostly because of the investors involved.
Yeah. But for you, I mean, you also have some overlaps with, for example, Tier Dot, right? For example, White Star is an investor into your company, and they're also one of the key investors with the new Tier Dot story as well. How is that? I mean, I would imagine that probably White Star thinks these two companies as competitors in different regions, right? Uh, how did that happen, and how do you manage that? Is there any conversations around White Star, Tier Dot, and you?
Yeah, it definitely we met like not only during your conference, but we met the guys, the founders.
Yeah.
Uh, but again, it's like I would say it's an investor issue.
Mm,
So what an awesome idea to build a greatest company across all the region.
yeah.
Just imagine. We didn't have any discussion, but
Yeah.
imagine Tier Dot Europe or Voi Europe, and JT, Central Asia,
Yeah.
and us in Korea, and Neuron Beam in Singapore. We team up and get
Yeah.
rid of all the SG&A altogether,
True.
and build the vehicles all together, and expand my subscription business to all the other part of the world.
Yeah.
And it'll be really efficient. I mean, it will be great. But the thing is, investors. So it's they have different valuation, different funding. So funding, I think funding is it's a curse. I would say if I start again,
Mhm.
I would really I would use my own money. It's
Not take
bootstrap
money at
from
all.
zero.
Yeah,
Not take money at all because it's
yeah,
really hurt you. Yeah, it's you cannot finish, you cannot
yeah,
acquire, you cannot sell
yeah.
because of different interest.
Yeah, and for many companies, I don't know how the preferential shares are stacked right now. For some of the companies which are like valued much lower than the peak, I think even if there's an exit, founders would probably make nothing. I guess. I mean, because of the preferred shares, right? That late stage investors have, right?
Yeah, I know some stories of yes, you're right. You're correct. So
Yeah,
investors, they have their LPs, and they don't want to go and say, "Hey, I merged with a smaller company at the smaller valuation that I invested it at, and actually it's smaller than those smaller valuation company
yeah,
because they're making better financials versus ours." Because they don't say that, in most cases, you marry with someone um, who's very similar to you, heavily
yeah,
funded, high valuation. So you shake hands and hey, you are high valued, we're high valued. Okay, let's share swap in like 1.5 versus one,
yeah.
and yeah, it's kind of yourself. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm fully with you on that. And if you look at, I mean, on the topic of M&A and all that, and your vision on a global company, if you look at Lime, right, they are at like 750 million top line. I think from a gross booking point of view, I wouldn't be surprised if they're close to a billion in 2025, right? If you look at the next closest player, maybe like Teardot or Bird, they're at like 200, 210-ish revenue. That's like just 25% of what Lime is, right? And none of them are global, truly global, right? Lime is probably the only global player. And when you look at this market and how Lime is growing, how massive Lime is, I strongly believe that there's enough room for one more global player, right? Maybe Bird could have been that. They did not achieve it. Maybe Tier could have been that, did not materialize as well. But I think there's I think there's enough room for a bunch of companies to merge to maybe get close to what Lime is today, right? If you look at Bird, I think they're pretty dominant in North America, close to 200 million revenue. If you look at Teardot, very good, very dominant position here, another 200 million. You guys in South Korea, and then like you said, Neuron Beam. I don't know what their revenue numbers are, but then if you stack everything together, we are looking at say 500, 600 million in revenue, right?
I agree with you.
Yeah,
But it's not the founders, it's not the business model. It's more the shareholders.
yeah,
I don't. I would think. I think it'll be really difficult. So, many people, like those one of the CEOs of those companies that you mentioned. I talked to them. They called me out because we're smaller
yeah,
and we're heavily locally focused. So usually it's them who make a call and let's chat and let's discuss, like, because of shareholders we cannot do something as an entity like
mhm,
merge or acquisition. Why don't we do some other stuff? Let's and the easiest way is to show each other's vehicles on each other's app.
yeah,
Even that partnership isn't easy, is not easy.
yeah,
So, and I don't even understand what the merits of it,
mhm,
what the benefits of it, showing each other's. So, no, my Korean people will never turn on Swing app, and when they arrive in London, they will just download the Lime app.
yeah,
So you need a truly global brand.
yeah,
I'm not against the global expansion because I talked I talked badly about my Japanese expansion.
mhm,
It's not from customer point of view. From customer's point of view, you need one brand working
yeah,
in any other countries. But in terms of operation, I think Lime is great because they are so good now finally
yeah,
in all these different cities and at scale. The point is they only do it when they can reach at certain scale, which is pretty important for efficiency, right?
true.
So having one brand, is very important, and everybody knows, everybody understands it. As
Yeah.
operators, they understand it, but investors, they didn't really give up on their the evaluation.
Yeah, that's a story that I hear all the time. There's so many M&A conversations happening in the space, but the expectations are way too high. Um, Something that I want to ask you about, because we are almost end of the almost running out of time. So you're focusing on South Korea. What's your future focus like? Where do you see yourself in the next years?
Yeah, it's really rare to it, we can actually, it's even weird to talk about it,
Mm,
but we think mobility, we consider ourselves as a mobility player, and mobility services is heavily connected to robotics, because robots are moving.
yeah,
Maybe like, let's take an example of running dog. Do you think it's a robot? Running dog can carry your stuffs and even carry you. And running dogs are made of hardwares, and sometimes it's made of wheels and motors, and you can deliver foods as well. So who
yeah,
does that? It's you think Uber is the only one mobility player who can expand to delivery? No, I think
mm,
micro mobility players. We are the one who's really good at managing those small stuffs, even drones. Like who's gonna build those drones, like huge number of drones, and who's gonna operate those drones to deliver at your home? I think the shared mobility player, shared mobility operators must expand it to those robotics. I'm not
yeah,
sure what is drone robot, is running dog robot, but I'm not sure. Anyway, something small.
yeah,
And it also reminds me of your talk with Horatio, like what is the definition of micromobility?
yeah,
I think it's time, within a decade. I think it will be very bigger term. It's not just moving people, just like Uber's vision has been expanded from moving people to transport anything, like
yeah,
people or couriers, right? I think it's for us, a micromobility team. I think it's the right time for us to really expand our horizon from just scooter bicycles to different hardwares, from moving people to move things, that also connect us from not just a mobility, like, e-bike or e-scooter company to robotics company. So we're preparing for that future. And we have these different business lines and etc. This is also a pathway to that as well. So yes,
yeah,
I'm really looking forward to our future, even though e-scooter sharing, it's like many people to describe it as a BlackBerry story, but yeah, it could be a BlackBerry, but hey, we have iPhone and we have other iPad. We have other different pads and wearables and etc. And it's the same company, same industry.
yeah.
So I think micromobility. I think we have more hopes on micromobility.
Yeah, I mean, what is fascinating is that you kind of foresaw what's going to happen. You did the pivots at the right time. That your business is growing, right? With every challenge, you were like trying. You're growing. You're getting much bigger, right? So that's really good. And I'm very sure that even with your future focus, I'm pretty sure you'll get there, right? You'll achieve everything. I mean, if I have to bet on one founder in this industry who can get this done, it's you. And I say this to everybody that I meet. San, pleasure talking to you. Every time I talk to you, it's an inspiration for me, and also generally for the industry as well. You are an example. I mean, any founder that I've met across the last couple of years, either it's small, big company, I've always mentioned you and your company as an example, and I always tell them, hey, talk to San, and I think normally I introduce everybody to you as well. So thanks for being an inspiration. Thanks for setting an example. At least for me, you were one of the first companies that I found that were profitable, and that kind of also gave me hope and kind of a optimism for this industry, right? So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for everything that you do, and thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you, Prabin. It was a pleasure talking to you, and let's meet in Berlin.
Absolutely. Let's catch up in Berlin. Thank you, San.
Thank you. Bye bye.